Hi, I'm Cody.
And I'm Val.
This is Hunter.
And we're doing our update video of living in the trailer. It was supposed to be our 3-month update. But
Three-ish.
It's been almost 4 months.
Yeah.
We're a little late.
Yeah, that's my bad.
So we don't really have an agenda for this video. We're just kind of
Nope.
going to have a candid talk, and I'll try to, I guess, chop it together. And
We're going to be weird and ramble, and then she's going to be like a magic editor, and it'll look good when we're done.
I'm going to try to.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe the first thing to touch on is what have been our favorite things about living in a trailer. Because we used to live in a fairly nice apartment in a bigger city, and now we live in a, what is this, like 168 square feet?
I don't know. It's a 21-foot fifth wheel.
8 foot by 21 foot?
Mm-hmm.
It's under 200 square feet, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's little.
Like, it's not a big trailer. And now we live in a very small town of less than 1,000 people in a trailer park where there's pretty much nothing here except for his mom and his brothers.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely been a lifestyle change. And before that, we were up in Grand Prairie while he was at work, which is nice. Their RV park was nice.
Yeah, the RV park there was nice.
Yeah. So, I'll go first. My favorite things have been, obviously, our lot rent here is a lot less than paying rent in the city. It's about half of what we used to pay for rent.
Mm-hmm.
And we own the trailer. So, when we get a truck, which is hopefully sooner than later, we can start taking this thing all over Canada. And, you know, if we want to dry camp or boondock or whatever, we could do that and we don't have to pay lot rent at all. So, it's definitely saving us money in some ways. I personally like having a small space. I like that it forced me to get rid of a lot of stuff, and there's certainly a lot more that I could get rid of, and I'll probably work on doing that. But I've gotten rid of a ton of clothes, a ton of junk that we had. It just makes things feel lighter and less stressful. I like that it's easy to heat, it's easy to keep clean. I don't know, it's not as hard living here as I thought it was going to be, and I like that we can reno it and I don't have to feel bad about it because it's mine and I own it and they can't say anything. What do you like about it?
A lot of what I like about it is just the financial aspect of things. I enjoy that I get to be the primary breadwinner and that, you know, we're not going backwards financially anymore. Because we were for quite a while. Part of that is just work has picked up a little for me now. But I don't know, I'm having a hard time adjusting to the trailer because I'm not really here a lot. I divide my time between here and being up in camp at work, where the room I was in last time was just barely smaller than this whole trailer. So it's a bit of an adjustment, like every time I come back home. But yeah, I think that's basically it for me. I mean, as far as getting rid of stuff and being more minimal, I already didn't have a whole ton of extra stuff. I had some like heirlooms and stuff that I wanted to keep from like Baba and Grandpa that Mom's holding on to them now. But yeah, no, I've always kind of run my life pretty small and minimal and just what I needed and, you know, function over form basically. But yeah.
So, if we had to go back and do this all over again, would we still choose to live in a trailer or would we have stayed in the apartment?
I think we should have stayed in the apartment until we found a better trailer. Because this one is just it's really not as functional for 2 people and a dog as I would have liked. I feel pretty claustrophobic in here just because a few key spaces aren't as spacious as I like them to be.
I would kind of agree with that. I mean, I personally am okay with the size of it. It would be nice to have something bigger, but I'm not, like, I don't feel claustrophobic. I don't feel overwhelmed or anything. Like, I'm okay with the size of the trailer. But because we are first-time RVers, especially full-time RVers, like, I've never been in an RV before. We've stayed maybe one night in a friend's RV. I don't know what your experience was prior.
Yeah, about the same as this.
Like we always went camping in tents and stuff as kids, so I didn't really know anything about an RV. So I wish that we had stayed in the apartment a little longer after we bought this trailer, because there's a lot of added expenses that we didn't think about before when we bought it. So like getting a new sewer hose, skirting and insulating it, having to repair the whole front end cap from the water damage, replacing the sink and the countertops, doing the window coverings.
This loud beast right here.
Yeah, getting a dehumidifier. Like, getting a heater. There were just all these little extras that add up, which is why earlier I said we are saving money in that sense, but there's also a lot of extra add-ons that you wouldn't have if you were living in an apartment renting somewhere, because your landlord takes care of all of these things, whereas for us, every time something breaks or needs to be fixed or upgraded, that all comes right out of pocket, which tends to add up over time. But, that being said, I do enjoy living in a small town. I enjoy living in a small space. I think we would enjoy it more if we had a bigger trailer and a truck to tow it.
Yes.
Currently we don't, but that's okay for right now, because regardless if we had a truck or not, we would have to park the trailer at an RV park and stay there for the winter. Because he's got work. If he didn't have work, that would be different. We would go down somewhere warmer and park it there for a bit. But so overall, what are your thoughts living in a trailer?
I like it. I recommend it. Definitely make sure that you don't just get caught up in the romance of the idea and I'm gonna buy a trailer and go. Like, do your research. Walk on every square inch of the floor to look for soft spots, because after we moved in we found a couple where just you wouldn't really think to look for one.
Thankfully they're not places we go all the time, but they're definitely rotted out there.
But yeah, just do your research. Make sure it's a floor plan that you can live with. Make sure there's room for all of the stuff that you have or need. Case in point, we have our little electric stove sitting next to us on the couch here, because there's really nowhere else to put it when it's not in use, right? We need the countertops, so.
Yeah, to kind of touch back on what Cody said about romanticizing, because he used to always tell me that whenever I brought up this idea, because we had been talking about doing something like this for a couple of years, at least, either doing a van life or living in an RV or something. But he would always tell me, Valerie, maybe you're romanticizing it a little bit, like maybe you're not thinking about the downsides. And I was, and I had, but I think when you're really actually doing it, there's a lot more that you don't think about. You know, like I knew that I'd have to go out and empty my gray and black water tanks, even when it was really cold outside. What I didn't anticipate was when the handle broke, and so now it takes me a lot longer to try and get the gate valve open, and my hands will freeze while I'm out there. Or that our front door freezes shut because it doesn't always seal properly. So then I'm stuck outside in the freezing cold because it's an Alberta winter and it was like minus 24 last 2 weeks ago or something like that. It was really cold. And my door froze and I was stuck outside for like 2 minutes trying to pry the stupid thing open. Yeah, just stuff like that. Or like when our lines froze, which are all fixed now, but not having water in here really sucked. You kind of gotta shuffle everything around. Like our dining room. Our dinette right now is totally unusable because we had to clear a bunch of stuff from this couch so that we could film this. You know, and if I want to use the dinette, a lot of that stuff comes back over here. And so when I cook, I got to move a lot of stuff off the counters. And it's not that it wasn't things I didn't think about, but there are a lot of inconveniences for sure.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing, or it could just be the trailer that we have as well, just being so small and not the best layout for storage and floor plan and stuff. This would be like an ideal trailer for one person who could set it up just the way they like it and the way they use things, and whatever, life would be fine. But because we're a family with a dog with our entire life in here, there's all that extra stuff that you'd have in your house, you know, in the filing cabinet or whatever, the storage room, that you still need with you. You don't use it, but you can't get rid of it. But where do you put it in a space this big? So, you know, stuff gets kind of divided and mashed up wherever. So I think bottom line is, if you're considering doing something like this, I personally would encourage you to do it. I think it's been a fantastic experience. We don't really plan to stop anytime soon. We do plan on upgrading to a larger trailer, but I don't think we plan on going back to an apartment or a house anytime soon. Eventually we will settle down, but for now this is fine. So if it's something you wanted to do, I would do it. I would just make sure that you really do your research. Or maybe if you have friends or family that you could maybe spend a week, even a weekend, but a week or two in their trailer to kind of get a feel for it. Or maybe you could rent one. I know there's places where you can rent different campers. I kind of wish we had done that first, maybe rented out a few different styles to figure out what worked for us. Like my biggest complaint with this trailer, because it is a good trailer, aside from that front end cap having to be rebuilt, which is fine now, everything in here works, and I'm okay with the floor plan, although something bigger would be nice. My biggest problem though is that I cannot stand up in the bedroom. And we have a 12-inch memory foam mattress back here,
which is amazing.
Heavenly.
I would never get rid of it, but it takes up so much of our headspace because most mattresses are like what, 8 inches?
Something like that, yeah.
That extra 4 inches makes a big difference. Like
Yeah.
you can barely sit up in bed up there.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to get in and out of the bedroom area really sucks.
Yeah,
Once
it's
you're
a
up
pain.
there, it's great because it's like this cozy little den. You
Yeah.
can lay down. But if you wanted to sit up and, you know, hang out up there, or just trying to get out in the middle of the night to go pee, and it just sucks.
Yeah, it does.
And there's no room for foot storage, shoe storage. If you you can't see it on camera, but we've got like Cody's work boots, my runners, and my winter boots here. So there's 3
Yeah.
pairs of shoes, and there's almost no room to walk.
Yeah, the dog can barely get out the door when we let him out.
And his work boots are sitting on the stairs to get up into the bedroom.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a small space. Stuff that you don't really think about.
Yeah. One thing I did notice, especially now that it's winter, if you're considering RVing in a cold climate, maybe a toy hauler or something would be a little nicer, because right now our outside door opens right to outside, which obviously it's the outside door, but all that heat evacuates out the door immediately as soon as it's open, and then you got to reheat the trailer again. Whereas with a toy hauler, you can kind of come in through the garage area, and then it's just that buffer between outside. But yeah, definitely do your research and lifestyle, what would work for you.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the right trailer, and then it's a breeze.
Yeah. I think that's about it. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, that's about all I got.
Cool. Well, that's it for this video then, guys. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do so. We love having people added on to the Zilinski Life family. If you like this video or you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and we will chat with you guys next time.
Also, exciting news coming soon. Subscribe to hear it.
Bye!
Bye.